Taking a look at Pete Prisco's NFL Power Rankings released today. The Bucs' victory gets them to number 5, still in contention for that top overall seed and a first-round bye in the NFC. Packers, Titans, Bills, Cowboys all lose on Sunday, so it means Arizona back atop the Power Rankings. Dallas gets a top 10 see ya from Pete Prisco this week, falling all the way down to 12 after entering Week 11 as the 5th best team. The Bills also dropped to 11 after being 3. They had that home loss to the Colts. Time now for the NFL Power Rankings presented by StubHub, the leading ticket marketplace for buying and selling tickets online. I'm Tommy Tran, joined by NFL analyst Pete Prisco to go over his weekly Power Rankings. Let's start with the Bucs and last night's game. Pete, they go from 7 to 5 after the win over the Giants. What stood out to you?
Well, the defense stood out to me, and that's been a season-long problem. And granted, the Giants aren't a great offense, Tommy, but the fact that they're getting better on that side of the ball shows they're getting guys back. Sean Murphy Bunting was back. They're going to get Carlton Davis back. They're 2 corners, and that'll change the dynamic of the defense, and we saw part of that Monday night. They also are pressuring the quarterback much better. We saw that against Daniel Jones. They had 10 sacks in 3 games going into that game and then got a bunch last night. So I think it's the improvement of the defense. We know the offense is going to score points. It's just a matter of how good that defense gets. And they did it last year, and I think they can do it again. All
right, last night they did it without Vita Vea, but again at home they are 5-0, just 2-3 on the road. They'll be on the road Sunday at Indianapolis. So Cardinals and Rams move up, Pete, because the Packers, Titans, Bills, and Cowboys all lost on Sunday. So at the moment, if we're just taking a look at the NFC West between these two teams, which team do you favor?
Well, I think, you got to give the credit to Arizona. They beat them. They went to their place and beat them. And so they've earned that spot. And not only that, winning 2 road division games with your backup quarterback speaks volumes about your team as a whole. And I think defensively, they're really good at rushing the quarterback. We saw that against Russell Wilson. And they're getting better on the back end. Guys are growing up back there. So I think Arizona, people slight Arizona for some reason. I don't get it. They're a good football team, and they did go to Los Angeles and beat the Rams. So that's why they're in the 1 seed. I'd give the edge to the Cardinals right now.
All right, again, we're taking a look at your list. Arizona's on a bye. The Rams coming off a bye. They'll travel to Lambeau Field to take on Green Bay, so we'll see 2 and 3 this week. Patriots said hello to your top 10 for the first time last week. Now they're coming in at number 7. Pete, what has been the key to their 5-game win streak?
The greatest coach of all time. No doubt about it. Bill Belichick is proving once again why he's the best to ever do it. Look, this team, as they usually do with Bill Belichick, started slowly, and there were questions about them. But when you look at really over the course of this season, you're seeing the defense get better. You're seeing Mac Jones being able to manage the game. He's not driving the ball down the field. He's not being forced to make big chunk plays. That'll come as he gets better. But he's managing the game, and they're running the football. They are a power team. They physically beat you up. And that's a testament to Bill Belichick. Remember, with Tom Brady, they were wide open at times, throw it around. Early in Tom Brady's tenure, they were a defensive team that managed the game. This is more like those teams, and I think this is why Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, and he's doing a tremendous job with a team that, quite frankly, after about 4 weeks, most people thought they'd be a team that might barely scrape into the postseason. Now they're the first team in the AFC East.
Yeah, those young teams had a young Tom Brady. He's now got a young Mac Jones, who has really grown into his spot in his role as a rookie. They've got Tennessee and a battle division leaders coming up. Cowboys, I mentioned, their fall out of the top 10. You settled on 12. Despite all the injuries against the Chiefs in Kansas City, you're still docking them 7 spots, Pete?
Well, do we conveniently forget how they got dominated by the Broncos, 2 weeks ago? I mean, this is a team that's lost 2 of 3, and they're not playing very well. And, yeah, I get it. No Tyron Smith at left tackle. It changes the way they play on offense, and they did have the injuries at wide receiver, no Amari Cooper, to start the game, and CeeDee Lamb got banged up. But that goes on Dak Prescott. You got to be able to make plays. I don't care who's out there. You have to be able to make more plays than what he did on Sunday. So, yeah, I do understand the injury situation, but this goes back over the course of the last 3 weeks. They got to start playing better. The Eagles are coming, man. The Eagles are playing good football. I don't know if they'll catch them, but they're making that an interesting debate as to whether they can or not in the NFC East.
Yeah, Eagles are running all over everybody at the moment. Short week for the Cowboys hosting the Raiders Thanksgiving Day right here on CBS. Let's end on this, Pete. Let's sort out the AFC North. You have all teams in the top 15. Baltimore, the highest sort of ranked team for you at 6. How do you see it play out at the moment right now between all those teams, which includes Bengals, Browns, and Steelers?
Well, they got a lot of games left with each other, so I think that's how it's going to play out. If you ask me right now who I think would win the division, I'd probably pick the Baltimore Ravens. But, you know, the Ravens have played a lot of close games. We'll give them a pass for Sunday. They play without Lamar Jackson. They're a different team without Lamar Jackson. But could you imagine the narrative had they lost that game? They'd be on 2 straight losses. And the last time Lamar Jackson played, they were terrible on offense. The book is out on them a little bit. Blitz them, blitz them, blitz them. Let's see how they react to that. If Greg Roman could come up with a plan to react to the blitzes that they are really having problems handling, then I think they'll be okay. But I think that division's wide open. The Bengals showed me something coming off their bye and going to dominate the Raiders on the road. And we know Cleveland has some issues, but they're still right there. Pittsburgh, I think their schedule's brutal down the stretch. They're going to have a tough time navigating that. So I'd pick the Ravens right now as the team that I think will win the division.
Great stuff, Pete. Check out Prisco's complete power rankings on CBS Sports. And we'll leave you with this: the odds to win the Super Bowl. I can tell you, Tom Brady, the Bucs remained the betting favorite at Caesars Sportsbook at 6-1. The Cardinals, who are Pete's #1 team, 10-1 at the moment. You might have seen it right there. Even though New England leads the division, they are still a betting underdog. Buffalo, the betting favorite to win the division, plus 120 for New England to come out, but they were plus 375 just 2 weeks ago.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.